Hi, it's Nicole and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today is the Love Potion YouTube hop from Traci Reed Designs. There will be a hop list down in the description box below. So if you're coming directly as like a subscriber or you found me just kind of scrolling YouTube, I encourage you to go ahead and check out that list because there's going to be a lot of us playing along and showing the Love Potion collection. This is the February release from Traci Reed Designs, and this is my second layout that I have done with this. If you missed my first layout, it actually went up yesterday, I believe, by the time this goes up. And I carried over a lot of the scraps from my first layout. When I am printing hybrid materials like this, I like to go ahead and try and plan out as many layouts as I think I want to use with that collection, and then almost work in like a batch method. Sorry. So I try to print everything that I need to print. I try to do all of my embellishments at the same time so that I can get them cut out on my silhouette, and then I can put my silhouette away. And I think I ended up using Love Potion for 3 layouts in February. It was just too good. I think the pattern papers are always going to be my favorite of Traci's collections. I think she just does pattern paper so well, and it just kind of fits my like preferred pattern, I guess I would say. There's always lots of B-sides, which I absolutely love. I think her stripes and her plaids are always super, super fun. So I don't know, I kept playing with this collection this month. One of my absolute favorite patterns in the Love Potion is this like ombre speckled type of paper. And I will have to double check. This might be part of the Love Yourself add-on. So there's like the main portion of Love Potion, and then there's like an add-on like mini kit that has more of a like spa type, love yourself type of theme to it. Now for my layout design, I am following a sketch. It is paid content, so I'm not going to share the sketch in here, but I will link down below where you can find the sketch if you are interested. The original sketch is actually this orientation here. However, I am going to rotate it the other direction so that I can have like a shelf to put a bunch of die cuts. The sketch shows for a bunch of florals over where like the white cardstock on my layout is, and ultimately I just was really feeling having it go across the top, so that's what I chose to. After I figured out where I wanted all of my patterns, I went ahead and adhered all of those, keeping the adhesive towards the center of the squares because I am going to do some stitching. The stitching is depicted on the sketch, and at first I debated whether or not I wanted to. I love combining hand stitching with printed materials. I'm not sure what specifically it is. Like, I already like to stitch on my layouts. I also try to make sure I give myself a break sometimes when I feel like a collection doesn't necessarily need it, or maybe the theme of the layout doesn't need kind of that homespun handmade type of vibe. But for some reason with Traci's collections, I just love hand stitching on them. The stitching on the sketch depicts kind of this like quilted look. So at first I thought, oh, it's not that bad. It's, you know, it's just a couple straight stitches. This shouldn't take me very long. This took me very long. I'm not sure if I was just taking it slow or you know what was going on, but I tend to go ahead and get my holes poked, and I take this downstairs and I stitch while I watch TV in between chores and just kind of use it as like a downtime multitasking type of activity. So came back. I didn't worry about stitching right there in the middle where I knew my photos were going to go, so I did save a little bit of time there. I'm gonna go ahead and put my photos down, and then I'm gonna start working on my title. This is individual alphabets from trying to think of how to explain this. So like when you go on Traci's store, there's the pattern papers and the traveler notebook papers and journaling cards, all kinds of different files. I always make sure to grab the file that I'm pretty sure is set up for digital scrapbookers. But you know me, you do you. Break a rule if you need to. In those files are individual alphabets. So I printed out these, it's supposed to be like a glittery gold. And so it's kind of like if you took a picture of glitter, and that's about the only way that I can handle glitter. I actually have like a no glitter rule in my house because it gets everywhere and I hate it. Like I vacuum and it's a nightmare. So this is the kind of glitter that I like. So I just printed it, die cut it with my silhouette. I used the black beaded alpha. There was like a black, a white, which I used on my third layout. I think a red one, and there might have been a pink one. I'll double check. But there will be a link to the whole Love Potion and Love Yourself, like all of the stuff in the store. I don't like to link to individual like pieces because everybody kind of looks at things differently. Everybody shops a little differently. So I just link to the collection in the store, and then you can kind of look through and see if there's anything that grabs your attention. Keep an eye out for sales. I can't remember if it's currently going on or if it just ended, but Traci does a lot of like 40% off sales. It's a really good time to stock up on stuff and, you know, try out some stuff. There's also a free section in her store. So if you're not 100% sold on hybrid materials, or you don't know how, you know, your printer's going to work or your software's going to work, if you're going to enjoy the process, I highly recommend going and using one of the like free collections and just play around and see how you like it. So I am just working from left to right, tucking in different elements. If you've been here a while, you guys know I like to cut things in half and kind of stretch them a little bit if I need to, especially big like floral clusters. Super easy to just cut them in half, and then you've got two flat-sided floral clusters that kind of work a little bit better for my style and for this design in particular. And I just kind of switch off from what's going to be flat, what's going to be popped up. I will say I wish I had paid a little bit more attention to the fact that I've got one pattern paper square down there that is a black pattern, and then I think just that stripe above the photos has a tiny bit of black in it. So I realized that I had kind of ignored one of the colors in the collection, not necessarily intentionally, but by the time I realized it, I was like, okay, let's keep black out of this floral cluster. I've got black in my title, and I'm kind of trying to figure out, okay, how do I want to bring in a little bit more black in this? So what I ended up doing was doing like a negative journaling strip, so black background with white text. I did not film that part because it was just the one strip. And here you can see some close-ups of some of those details. And if you guys enjoyed this, I'd love it if you would give me a like, subscribe if you haven't, leave me a comment if you've got any questions, and hopefully something here will catch your interest. And I will catch you guys next time.